What's going on, guys? Welcome to Dead Walking Sunday. Before we get to our Walking Dead review, I want to let you guys know I am doing a giveaway. You can win this Negan and Glenn figurine. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and down below in the comments section, put hashtag RIP Glenn. The winner will be announced at the end of season 7. So let's get to business, shall we? Well, we're talking The Walking Dead service spoiler review. Now, I got a lot to talk about in this episode because I am mixed after watching this episode. I liked some portions of it. Then again, there's some portions I probably would have changed if I was the writer of this series. Now, I think overall the episode, it looked great. The actors, once again, Jeffrey D. Morgan really does a great job with the Negan role. Rick does a great job with the counterbalance there. He really does convey a lot of emotion. So does Michonne. Even Rosita. Rosita doesn't get a lot to do, but I'm glad that her character is doing something throughout this whole process. And now this is the grieving process. This is the service process. Negan is coming. Negan wants his shit. He said half, but what's half for Negan is whatever Negan says. So the good thing is everybody got to keep their food. The bad thing is everybody got their guns taken away, and poor Olivia almost got killed. Fucking A. Here's the thing. Some of the dialogue for Negan, I know you got to change things up for the television, then the comic. But I feel like the comic, yes, Negan is the piece of shit of all time. But what we like of this, why we fell in love with this villain, if you can believe it or not, after what he did to Glenn, is that his jokes. He's a very jokey kind of guy. He doesn't really take things really seriously at all, honestly. He doesn't take anything serious. So him coming in, barging down the door, telling Rick, hold my Lucille. I mean, that's a nice little touch because Rick was holding Lucille through the whole episode, which was an asshole move. And some of the lines here and there that Jeffrey Dean Morgan delivered were really great. But I felt like they didn't give him enough, they didn't let him have fun with it. It felt like they're like, you know what, Negan's still a baddie. It looked like Jeffrey D. Morgan was having a lot of fun with it, but I felt like this is the time you be a little bit more over the top. This is the time where Negan himself should be over the top because he's so charismatic, and what's so great is Jeffrey D. Morgan's so charming. But this is the time where you just start making jokes. I was waiting for the one joke that was actually ripped off the comics, and that could have been on the this point is when it's like, the Asian kid. Yeah, I really didn't want to do that to the Asian kid. It wasn't my fault. Like, that kind of stuff, not like, you know what I did to the Asian kid, right? Like, there's a difference. There's a difference of tone. So I think the tone for Negan in this episode could have been a little bit lighter and a little bit fluffier. I know it's like, why? After everything he's done, no. But that's why we love Negan in the comics so much, because he is fluffy, he is lighter when he does have conversations with Rick. Actually, when he has conversations with Rick, it seems like he actually wants to be generally friends with Rick. He wants to be the motherfucking best friends for life of Rick. But in this particular episode, it really felt like he was definitely just putting down Rick. He definitely he's interested in Rick, but there's no way he wants to be buddy-buddy with Rick. But in the comics, it does feel like he's like, this guy's putting him down, but seems like he wants to have a beer with Rick. So the tone in this for Jeffrey D. Morgan's Negan could have been lighter, a little bit fluffier, and it could have been written dialogue-wise a little bit better for him. But I'm saying he did a good job for what he was conveying and what he was doing, and definitely he was really putting the pressure on Rick even more, especially with Rick having to bow down to him. And that's what you want a villain. You want your protagonist to bow down to the villain and to really, struggle defeating him. So we got all that aspects, because throughout the whole episode, the saviors, Negan, Dwight, I will get to Dwight in a minute. Dwight were just straight assholes. Negan had a nice little little lines here and there, but like I said, it needed to be a little more fluff here. The things I really did like, though, was Rick. A little bit of Rick. There's some things I didn't like about Rick, but I liked how Rick was basically he was thinking. You could tell the deaths of Glenn. I don't know so much of Abraham, but Glenn definitely was on his mind. He was like, he wanted to bash Negan's head so fucking bad. I liked how Michonne went to use the sniper and she was practicing because we don't have Andrea. Andrea's not in the television series anymore. This is where Andrea comes into play. But it's Michonne who's trying to be the sharpshooter. And it doesn't look like they kind of like, she's trying, but doesn't look like she just has a natural ability of it. She's more of close range combat. So we'll see who's the sniper out of all of them. Maybe Rosita's actually a good sniper, and she is a good shot. But I did like Rick and how much emotion the actor Andrew Lincoln really conveyed in this episode. This is probably Andrew Lincoln's best acting performance so far. Just like 3 episodes into this series, season 7. I think this is starting to become one of his better acting of the seasons. He's really doing a good job. He needs a haircut though. I'm just saying. But, however, here we go. Rick really bowed down to Negan in the comic. I know I'm going to the comics, but this is the difference between the television show and the comics. These are themes, these are character traits that they should bring from the comics to the television series, because it makes Rick really, really a punk ass bitch. When Negan said, "I slid my dick down your throat and you took it and you thanked me," yeah, what the. Like in the comics, he tells Andrea, Andrea's about to leave his ass, and he says, No. Listen, baby, I'm taking on Negan. This is all for just to get everybody calmed down. But really, I'm planning this shit right now. I didn't get that from this episode. I got Michonne going at the very end and saying, I'll try to bow down to Negan in his ways. What is going on here? No. I don't know what the writers and everybody were thinking. No, there should have been a private moment between Rick and Michonne. It didn't have to be straight from the comics like they did with Rick and Andrea. But you should have had a moment where Rick says, yeah, I'm bowing down right now. I hear what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. I mean, we need to find more manpower, and we're going to take his ass out. Maybe they'll set that up for the next episode or future episodes, but right now, of course they are, because it's going to happen. Rick and Negan are going to collide. But in this episode, this was the perfect time to really have Rick just bow down to Negan when he was there, but when he left, talk all the shit you want, Rick. Talk all the shit you want. But they didn't do that. They had him being a punk ass bitch, which I couldn't believe when I was watching this episode. I was like, Rick, I'm losing respect for you, man. What? You really have been broken that much. And I understand this, and anybody would be broken with like this reality, but Rick, come on. So Michonne, though, was very... I liked Michonne's... I mean, I would have loved for her to tell Rick to snap out of it, but it is what it is. Like I said, I liked Rosita. I thought it was kind of stupid going after a gun that didn't even have bullets in there. But then again, it was pretty smart because they don't have guns anymore. Spencer's gonna get his ass kicked. Just saying. Eugene is Eugene. He's Eugene. Carl. Oh man, Chandler Riggs. When he started spouting out his lines, Chandler Riggs, I know there's a lot of Chandler Riggs fans out there, but man, this kid, he's just not a very good actor. He's not a very good actor. I mean, those lines should have been delivered better. There's no way to put it. I mean, it should have been delivered better, and it just wasn't delivered that great. So, Chandler Riggs moving forward, man, I don't know. I mean, Negan and Carl, they have a great... There's a relationship there, especially with Negan in this episode, just saying, you got balls, kid. But Chandler Riggs, as Carl. And Carl, I love how he stood up, but that acting, man, I'm just saying, that acting. Gabriel, I absolutely hate this character in the comics, and I hate this character in the TV show, but goddamn, good one, Gabriel. Boom, thumbs up, buddy. Having a fake buried Maggie while Negan looks at this, thinks that she's dead. Like, that was great. Good job, Gabriel. You really contributed to the team, to Team Rick. Well, I don't know about Team Rick anymore. Before I get to Dwight, poor Daryl. Daryl has been through some shit. Daryl's bike has been driven in front of him. Daryl can't even go home. Daryl looks like a lost little kid, and Rick just wants him back, but Negan will not give him back. Negan wants Daryl. He wants Daryl. That's him. It's his. Daryl, oh man, Daryl just looks sad in this episode. Hopefully he starts becoming a badass like we all know, and hopefully he starts thinking like, really kind of acting like he's just broken so he can get into Negan's crew and then betray him later on. But man, Daryl he looks sad. He looks very sad. Dwight, here is the character I really wanted to talk about after watching this episode. So this episode, I had mixed feelings, you know. It was cool to see Negan and the whole crew come in. Great intensity, good dialogue. Not too much good dialogue, but great exchanges with Rick and Negan. But Dwight, in the comics, Dwight is, and in the last episode, you saw him really just kind of split. He's split. He's with Negan. He's like, this is Negan's way, but then he doesn't want to go in Negan's way. But when he comes into Alexandria, right off the bat, he is 1,000% asshole. Like, he is so unlikable in this episode. I'm watching him. I'm like, damn, like, he's doing things that are just so unnecessary. And you could say, oh, he's playing the part, you know, he's still, he has to do this because Negan. No. The way this actor is portraying it, the way Dwight went about things in this episode, he generally liked doing the stuff he did, being an asshole, being an asshole to Rosita, being an asshole to Spencer, being an asshole to Daryl. Dwight is one of my favorite characters in the comics. Dwight in the TV series, I'm kind of hoping he dies. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm kind of hoping he dies. So I'm just baffled on, they're kind of screwing up the balance between Dwight on why he's good and why he's bad. I'm not saying they're fully screwing up on it. They do a good job here and there, but this episode, watching this episode alone, Dwight is such a real piece of shit in here. I'm just saying. Overall, it was an okay episode. It was fine. There was a lot of mixed feelings when I was watching it. There was a lot of things I would have personally changed. I mean, I'm not the one that's running it. AMC's running it, of course, and the writers. But I felt like this episode could have been better. And I don't know if anybody could agree with that. I mean, it was good for what it was, but it could have been better. And I think I said the same thing last week, and it just could have packed a bigger punch. But overall, it was a good episode. I hope Rick starts manning up, because if he doesn't man up, the Kingdom is definitely going to get involved. So I'm interested in how the Kingdom's going to get involved when Morgan or Carol are going to come visit Alexandria, because Carol doesn't know that Glenn's dead, or Abraham. Morgan is the same way. So we'll see. Thank you guys for listening. Like I said, go ahead and subscribe. Hashtag RIP Glenn or hashtag Abraham down below. And you have a chance to win this Walking Dead figurine. It's an awesome figurine. Go ahead and do that. Winner will be announced at the end of season 7. So what did you guys think about this episode? Am I hitting the ball right? Or you guys feel like, no, Dan, like, this episode was amazing. What the fuck are you talking about? So everybody has different opinions. It is what it is. Fuck it. Alright, like the video if you like it, comment below. There's another edition of Dead Walking Sunday. Check out my non-spoiler review if you like. Till next time, till we talk more The Walking Dead. See you guys later.